Hello, friends. Welcome back to our channel. Let's start. She had no idea that her husband, who was so attentive and caring towards her, had a very dark secret. He was leading a double life and had a hidden family. How could she have been so blind? What did she do to deserve this? And most importantly, what will she do now? This is the story of a woman who found out that her seemingly perfect husband had a child from another woman. It's a tale of betrayal, deceit, and the unexpected twists that life can sometimes throw her way. Her name was Mary. She was a hardworking, dedicated elementary school teacher who believed in the importance of nurturing young minds. Her passion for teaching was only surpassed by her love for her husband, John, a successful lawyer who was known for his integrity and sharp intellect. Their relationship seemed like the perfect blend of two souls who complemented each other beautifully. They had been married for 5 years and in their own home. Everything appeared to be fine. However, little did she know that beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. John was a man who seemed to have it all together. He was respected in his community, admired by his colleagues, and was the kind of man every woman wanted and every guy aspired to be like. But behind closed doors, there existed a part of him that Mary had yet to see. A part that was not just a stain on his otherwise squeaky clean image, but a complete contrast to the man he portrayed himself to be. The first cracks in John's facade appeared when Mary noticed his peculiar behavior. Late-night phone calls with cryptic conversations, hushed whispers, and furtive glances were just some of the things she observed. At first, she dismissed it. After all, John was a high-achieving lawyer, and she understood that his work demanded long hours and late meetings. But a nagging doubt still lingered in her mind. His actions, though seemingly innocent, did not sit right with her. As time went on, these odd behaviors became more frequent, causing a constant undercurrent of unease in Mary's life. The once serene ocean of her trust began to show some dark clouds on the horizon. Little did she know that these dark clouds were just the beginning of a torrential storm that was about to hit her. Then one day, while sorting through some paperwork at home, Mary stumbled upon an insurance policy document bearing her husband's name. Curiosity got the better of her, and she opened it. What she found inside sent shockwaves through her, shattering the illusion of the perfect marriage she had been living in. John had taken out a life insurance on someone else. And the beneficiary, a woman named Emily. The revelation struck her like a bolt from the blue. The late-night calls, the secretive glances, they all made sense now, but the reality was too much for her to process. Her feelings of betrayal, confusion, and hurt were like a tidal wave threatening to engulf her. She felt the ground beneath her feet slipping away, leaving her stranded in a sea of uncertainty. In the days that followed, Mary found herself consumed by thoughts of Emily. Who was this woman? Why was she a part of John's life? And most importantly, what did it all mean for her and John's marriage? The questions swirled in her head, demanding answers. Unable to bear the weight of her mounting questions and the cracks in her marriage, Mary decided to confront her husband. The conversation that followed was one of the most heartbreaking moments in her life. John confessed to everything. He told her about his relationship with Emily, how they had met, how it progressed, and finally, about their child, a little girl who was 3 years old. For Mary, the pain was unbearable. It was as if a knife had been plunged into her heart. She had loved John with all her heart and had never even considered that he might be leading a double life. To add to the torment, the thought that John had been living a lie, keeping secrets from her for so long, made her question everything they had shared. But amidst the wreckage of her shattered trust, Mary's resolve began to form. She would not let this destroy her. She was a strong woman, a woman who had overcome many obstacles in her life. She would not crumble now. After talking with her husband, she left the house and went to her parents' home. It was the first time in 5 years that she had stayed there. Seeing her daughter so distraught, Mary's mother, Susan, rushed to comfort her. With a mix of sympathy and anger, Susan listened as her daughter poured out her heart, sharing every intimate detail of her shattered marriage. As Mary spoke, Susan's eyes flashed with anger. She had always liked John and had seen nothing but goodness in him. To think that he had deceived her daughter, a daughter she had brought up to be kind and trusting, filled her with rage. "Don't worry, sweetheart," Susan said, pulling her close. "I'm here for you. Whatever you need, I'll be there for you," she promised. The following days were a blur of emotions for Mary. She oscillated between anger and sadness, often questioning her choices. But through it all, her mother stood by her side, being the anchor that kept Mary from completely succumbing to the turmoil within. Susan listened patiently, offering words of comfort and strength whenever her daughter faltered. She knew that healing from such a deep wound would take time, and she was prepared to be by Mary's side throughout the journey. However, amidst the sorrow, a tiny seed of determination had been planted in Mary's heart. She would not let this define her. She was not just a victim of circumstance. She was a woman who had the power to shape her own destiny. As the days turned into weeks, Mary slowly started to piece her life back together. She threw herself into her work, finding solace in the routine and the children's laughter. It was in those innocent smiles and curious questions that she found a strength she didn't know she possessed. The thought of letting John's actions break her, destroy everything she had worked so hard for, was unacceptable to her. With the support of her family and friends, Mary started to heal. She began to understand that while she couldn't change what had happened, she could control how she responded to it. She was determined to make something good out of this terrible situation. Meanwhile, John was consumed with guilt and remorse. He understood that he had betrayed Mary in the worst way possible, and he was desperate for forgiveness. But he also knew that he couldn't undo what had happened. Emily had become an integral part of his life, and giving her up was not an option. One evening, unable to bear the weight of his guilt any longer, he decided to confront Mary. He stood at her parents' doorstep, hoping for a second chance. But as he looked into Mary's tearful eyes, he knew that it was too late. He had broken her trust, and no matter how much he loved her, that trust would never be restored. John had come to seek forgiveness, but instead, he received a harsh dose of reality. It was a reality that he himself had created, a reality that was now his to face. There was no one else to blame, no one else to appease. He had made his choices, and now he had to live with the consequences. This was a turning point for both of them. Mary realized that she deserved better than the secrecy and lies that John had subjected her to. With newfound determination, she began divorce proceedings. On the other hand, John was left to grapple with the consequences of his actions. He had to deal with the fallout of his double life, balancing the needs of two families that he had created. As for Emily, she grew up blissfully unaware of the turmoil her existence had caused. Her life was a testament to the innocence that had been lost, a constant reminder of the choices her father had made. In the end, this story serves as a stark reminder. It reminds us that appearances can be deceiving and that not all who seem good are truly good for us. It's a tale of caution, urging us to be wary of those we trust and to always stay true to ourselves. What would you do if you were Mary? Let me know in the comments below. We wish you all the best in your life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content.